Breaking news. In order to begin a new chapter in her life with her husband in Nebraska, Jana Duggar is bidding farewell to a familiar lifestyle. In her most recent YouTube video, which went live on Monday, November 11, the 34-year-old Counting On actress spoke up about the challenges of leaving her little home on Arkansas farmland and moving in with her now husband, Stephen Wisman. This video was shot before their August wedding, and in it, the former reality star thanks the tranquil location she would soon be departing. Duggar remarks, "I am cherishing these peaceful mornings on the farm, while gazing out over her verdant surroundings. The little lambs scuttling about are simply the cutest," she says as the camera pans to other farm animals. As she continues, she mentions her new house in Nebraska and how her life is set to undergo a lot of changes, including a greater emphasis on city living. "There will be times when I long for the farm, but I am filled with anticipation for what is to come. Everything is so tranquil here, the orchard, the garden, the animals as the sun rises." The sleek new flooring have officially been laid in the home, thanks to the efforts of Duggar's husband and sisters. She routinely publishes restoration updates on her Nebraska fixer-upper. Even though she's pleased with the outcome, she mentions that there were a few little problems when they laid the floor herself. She explains that everything were going well until something went awry, at which point the floorboards wouldn't go in the manner they should have. Duggar continues by saying that they returned all of the flooring after reboxing it as they were unhappy with it. "We replaced the old underlayment and flooring with new ones," she says. "We're now laying that." And then the camera goes to a time-lapse showing her husband, and her sisters putting in the new flooring. In earlier films, we saw how Duggar's family has been an enormous assistance in finding solutions to problems and getting things done fast as she is renovating. Jana Duggar's Nebraska home unveils stunning kitchen makeover along with her new husband. She is renovating. Duggar recently showed off the before and after of her kitchen makeover, which included a sleek new design with white cabinets, sleek appliances, and shiny gold hardware. Regarding the task of painting their cabinetry, because of his experience with industrial painting work and his expertise with a sprayer, Duggar proclaimed her husband the expert. On August 15, Jana and Wisman were legally married in Prairie Grove, Arkansas. Jana is the oldest of Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar's 19 children. That same month, Duggar told People in an exclusive interview that she was packing up her life in Arkansas and moving to Nebraska to start a new chapter with Wisman, where they were restoring a home together. "He has a little house we bought that we've been fixing up and getting pulled together, and so that's been fun," the newlywed added at the time. It has been stated that Jana Duggar, who hails from a rural background in Arkansas, has abruptly uprooted her life and moved to Nebraska, leaving behind her family's farmhouse. Jana has always been a part of her family's rural way of life. She is known as the Cinderella Duggar due to her many years of helping out around the house and taking care of her younger siblings. The transition to city life in Nebraska is challenging, but she has chosen to strike out on her own as she enters her 30s. A new beginning and a cultural shock await Jana in Nebraska. She is now adjusting to a whole new environment after spending years on the Duggar family farm, where routines were based on long-established customs and familial responsibilities. This time in Jana's life is a time of great personal development and discovery, as she learns the rhythms of the city, makes friends, and experiments with several job choices. "A watershed moment in my life. Departing from the Duggar farm." Jana has spent her whole life in Tontitown, Arkansas, on the Duggar family farm. Whether it was planning meals, caring to the garden, or supervising her siblings' homeschooling schedules, she was always busy there. Jana had a special place in the family as the firstborn daughter, a position that came with great duty and the weight of sacrifice. A lot of Jana's admirers, however, started to see her commitment to her family as more of a sacrifice than she really was. For a long time, she stayed on the family farm to assist with chores, raise her younger siblings, and provide for her parents. The strain on Jana only grew when her siblings started getting married and moved out, leading many to believe that she was prevented from experiencing independence. Jana came to the conclusion that she needed a change at some point. This was the ideal chance for her to visit Nebraska, where she supposedly had acquaintances and maybe even love interests. It seemed like a reasonable first step toward the freedom she'd never really experienced, thanks to its reputation for medium-sized towns and cities that combine city life with a dash of small-town character. Adapting to urban living, fresh habits and views, Jana has learned a lot from her experience living in the city in Nebraska. The state's urban centers aren't exactly hives of activity, but they're nonetheless quite different from her hometown in rural Arkansas. Everyday life has changed, with new sights, noises, and a faster pace. Jana is beginning to adjust to her new surroundings. The lack of miles of meandering rural roads and the proximity of restaurants, shops, and activities are becoming used to her. Jana immediately saw a change in her everyday routine. The city has its own hum, she supposedly told her followers. Something seems to be happening here all the time. Wonderful things may be found in the most mundane of places, like local markets and coffee shops. It has been a welcome change to have so much close by, especially for someone who lived her whole childhood on a family farm and had to arrange a trip to the shop just so she could pop out for necessities. Having moved out of the family home, Jana is also relishing in the seclusion. Without the known pattern of Duggar family habits and the continual noise of brothers, she will be able to determine her own schedule now that she lives on her own. Jana is now free to pursue her passions without feeling pressured to meet the demands of her family or complete a long list of household tasks. Quite different from her life in her own country, she has been seen enjoying art walks, farmers markets, and Nebraska's cultural offers. Developing friendships outside her immediate family has been a game changer for Jana. Her church, relatives, and close friends made up the bulk of her Town community. But in Nebraska, she's met individuals from many walks of life, and their unique viewpoints and experiences have given her social life a depth she's never had before. Rumor has it that Jana has been getting involved with various community events and clubs in her new location in an effort to meet people and learn more about it. Through her involvement with a women's club, she has become a part of a welcoming environment that encourages her to pursue her passions. It's nice to hang out with individuals who have their own experiences and tales, Jana told her pals. It has aided me in becoming more receptive to novel concepts and alternative approaches. Jana has been engaging with a network of women in small enterprises, which is an interesting development in her working life. She gets to show off her creative side outside the house by lending her talents in interior design and decorating to local businesses and friends. As she gains confidence in her own abilities, she has gained a feeling of pride in her work and a portfolio to brag about thanks to these efforts. Jana finds the increased freedom to be one of the most appealing aspects of city living. No matter what her hobbies were, she was never allowed the independence to pursue them since she grew up in a conservative household with strong conventional beliefs. She is now wholeheartedly embracing her freedom in Nebraska. Jana has become used to her independence and is relishing the opportunity to discover new things. She has even started preparing her own meals, and she loves trying out different recipes. The freedom to choose my own meals and prepare them is liberating, Jana said. As someone who has spent many years preparing meals for a family of 19, this seemingly little deed represents a sea change in her life. Her religious journey has also been liberated by her newfound independence. Jana is finding new methods to explore her spirituality, while still keeping her Christian values fundamental to her life. She has found a new group of friends at her church who not only share her beliefs, but also push her to develop her own identity. She's been going to Bible studies with her pals and is really enjoying the lessons that focus on developing one's character and discovering one's religion. Fans are hopeful that Jana will continue to flourish in her new life in Nebraska. Her family's expectations have definitely influenced her life, but her decision shows that she is prepared to break free and forge her own way. Confidence and a sense of self-identity outside the Duggar family dynamic are growing in her with each new encounter. Jana has, in her own words, said that she is thankful for the time she spent with her family, but that she is excited to write her own tale. She has expressed her desire to make Nebraska her home, a place where she may fully realize her potential and discover new opportunities. She has even dropped hints that she would want to travel more. Her list of things to do includes going on road trips, seeing national parks, and maybe even going on adventures abroad. Regardless of whether this city experience is only a stepping stone or the final destination, Jana seemed to be enjoying every second of it. She proved to her legion of admirers and followers that it's never too late to write your own narrative, even if you've been sitting on the sidelines for a while.